All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Easy Money, a sports betting show, Tuesday, November 29th, 2022. Got a pretty good slate of games we'll talk about today. Got some NBA, some college basketball. That's really probably pretty much about it today, isn't it? Some hockey.
Yep.
Got World Cup going on right now. United States is up 1-0 over Iran with still about 20, 25 minutes left in the game. United States was able to get a goal in the first half. Since then, nobody's been able to get anything. Iran's been close a couple times. United States been close to getting another goal a couple times. But I'm Chris Gonzalez, joined by my dad, Tony Gonzalez. How you doing, Dad?
I'm doing pretty good.
Another goal a couple times. I'm Chris Gonzalez, joined by my dad. Sounds good. So we should be in good shape here. Let's see. Okay, I guess we'll start in the NBA, and then we'll go to the college basketball. What do you got? Hockey?
Yeah, I got college basketball, NHL, and I think I even did NBA today. I think.
Okay, before we move on, let's see. That's drawing paper. My picks yesterday, I didn't have a great day. I was 6-6.
I went 6-3, and I hit my NHL. I had the Vegas money line and Dallas Stars money line and the Maple Leafs money line, and the parlay that hit.
Yeah, I was 6-6. Lost both my picks in the Monday Night Football game. I had the Colts and I had the under. That didn't hit. Celtics and Hornets was over 225, so that was good. I had the Pelicans over the Thunder. That was good. And my college basketball, all three of my picks in college basketball hit. So, and then I had the Pacers on the money line, and that hit on the last second shot by a rookie Nimhard for the Indiana Pacers. So I was excited about that game just because I really I'm not a Lakers fan at all, so it was nice seeing the Pacers get a win.
Halliburton last 3 games has 40 assists and no turnovers.
Yeah,
that's pretty impressive.
And he's had like 6 or 7 straight games with double with points and assists. He's been playing great. I really like Halliburton. Okay, NBA night. Only got 3 games tonight. You have the New York Knicks at the Detroit Pistons. The Knicks are 4.5-point favorites. They're minus 196 on the money line. The Pistons are plus 164 on the money line. Over unders at 226. I actually like the Pistons to cover in this game. I like the Pistons at the plus 4.5. It was 5 earlier, so it's went down to 4.5. It was 5 when I was going through the games earlier. But the Pistons are 2-3 over their last 5. They've been playing pretty decent basketball. Knicks are 1-4 over their last 5. They've been struggling a little bit. Knicks are at home, but I like the Pistons here to cover. I would have rather had it at the 5, but I'll take it at 4.5.
Oh, the Knicks are at home. I thought Detroit was at home.
Or excuse me, Detroit's at home. Yes, I said that wrong. Detroit's at home. I wrote it down backwards on my paper here. Yes, Detroit's at home. That's another reason I like them to cover. Then you have the Golden State Warriors at the Dallas Mavericks. Warriors are minus 1.5-point favorites, minus 130 on the money line. The Mavericks are plus 110 on the money line. Over under for this game's at 228. Warriors are 4-1 over their last 5 games. Mavericks are 1-4 over their last 5. The Warriors have struggled on the road this season, but I like the Warriors here. The Warriors have been playing good basketball. I like the Warriors on the money line, and then also like the over the 228. Over 228 in this game as well. Both these teams can score points. Then the last game is the Los Angeles Clippers at the Portland Trailblazers. Portland is 3.5-point favorites, minus 174 on the money line. Clippers are plus 144 on the money line. Over-unders at 211. Clippers are 3-2 over their last 5. Portland is 1-4 over their last 5. Portland is at home in this game. Clippers have a lot of injuries. Kennard's out, Paul George is out, Kawhi Leonard's out. So they have a lot of guys out. So I like Portland at home in this game with all the injuries the Clippers have. And I look for Portland to get back on track, being at home. So I like the Portland Trailblazers. I'll take them at the minus 3.5.
Me and you're going completely different, just about. I did a parlay. I went Golden State win money line over the Mavericks. I went the Clippers win money line over the Trailblazers, and I went the Knicks win money line over the Pistons.
So we both had Golden State, but you have opposite. You have the other two.
Yep.
Yeah, I like the Pistons basically because they're at home, and then I like Portland because of all the injuries the Clippers have. Pacers should have beat the Clippers the other day and kind of blew that game there toward the end. All right, let's guess let's move over to some college basketball. In college basketball, I like number one Houston over Norfolk State. Houston's at minus 25.5. I like Houston at the minus 25.5. I also like I like Baylor minus 6.5 over Marquette. I like Wisconsin at the minus 5.5 over Wake Forest. Also like Clemson minus 2.5 against Penn State. And then the last game I'm taking for college basketball would be Missouri minus 2.5 over Wichita State. That's all the picks I have for college basketball.
I got a parlay for the college basketball. I went with Baylor win money line at Marquette. I went Houston minus 25 against Norfolk State, and then I went Weber State plus 8 at Tarleton State.
Okay. You had a couple of the same games that I had. There's quite a few college games. It's hard to go through all of them.
Yep.
But let's see, and I know there ain't nobody playing yet. Usually there's some during the day. You got Bellarmine at Kentucky. Kentucky's a 25.5 point favorite. Maryland and Louisville. Maryland's a 12.5 point favorite. I almost took Maryland in that game.
Louisville's really struggling.
Illinois and Syracuse. Illinois is a 12.5 point favorite. That's another game I almost took. I'm a big Big Ten fan, so I like the Big Ten games. Like I said, Baylor and Marquette. We're at Wake Forest and Wisconsin. I end up taking Wisconsin at the 5.5. Georgia Tech and Iowa. I almost took Iowa, but 15.5 points just seemed a little high to me. Iowa's never really known for scoring a lot of points. They're more of a defensive team. So that the 15.5 kind of scared me. Now tomorrow we have a couple big matchups in college basketball. You have IU and North Carolina play tomorrow night, and Duke and can't remember. It's another top ranked team. Duke plays right before the IU.
I seen IU's ranked 10th now.
Yeah, IU's moved up to 10th. Purdue, I think, is 4th now.
They moved up that much?
I think they're 4th or 5th now after that. After them wins they got over Gonzaga and the Duke or North Carolina. Duke. North Carolina lost to somebody else. So yeah, they're up there.
Big Ten schools really been playing well.
Yeah,
they really have up to this point. Now it's kind of early in the year, of course, and they ain't playing each other, beating up on each other yet. So.
Yeah, that's true. You have an NHL?
Yes, I do. I have a NHL parlay. I'm gonna take the Bruins win money line over the Lightning, and that's at the Boston. I'm gonna take the Islanders win money line at the Philadelphia Flyers, and then I'm gonna take the Seattle Kraken win money line against the LA Kings. Kraken is their second season, and man, they're really starting to play well. They've got the old goalie that used to play for Vegas, and the last 10 games they've been one of the better teams in the league. So they're really playing well. I think they're second in the West right
now. Anthony, I use FanDuel is the app I use. He said he did a over team points on Warriors game and Clippers game. In the Warriors game, I like the over the 228 in the Warriors Dallas game. Plus, I like the Warriors to win. Clippers and Portland, I went with Portland at the 3.5. What was the over on that? What the over was? take a look real quick. Over's 211 on only 211 on that. Over under's 211. That's not bad. You know, the one game I took over on last night. Oh, was it? I think it was the Hornets and Celtics. They ended up scoring like 240 points, and the over was 225. There's not much. There's not a whole lot of defense played anymore. Is no college basketball or college football tonight. Don't have no college football till Friday.
Yep.
You have all the conference championship games this weekend.
Should be some pretty good games.
Yeah. NFL nothing till Thursday.
Have they said how many points they're giving Purdue yet against Michigan?
It probably says on
Saturday
here.
night. I would say it had to be quite a few.
Yeah, it's on here. Give me a second and I'll find it. Well, actually, we'll just go through a few of them real quick. Utah and USC. USC's a 2.5-point favorite over Utah. Didn't you say Utah had beat USC earlier in the year?
Beat them 43-42, if I remember correctly.
Kansas State and TCU. TCU's a 2.5-point favorite in that game.
TCU beat them by 10 earlier in the year.
In the MAC, you have Toledo and Ohio. Toledo's a 1.5-point favorite. Georgia's an 18.5-point favorite over LSU right now. Let's see, that's Fresno State and Boise State. Boise State's a 3.5-point favorite. Got Clemson and North Carolina. Clemson's a 7.5-point favorite. Michigan is a 16.5-point favorite over Purdue. As of right now.
What do you think about that?
I think I'd go with Michigan. There's only two things that kind of worry me. One is Blake Corum's health. I don't think they played Blake Corum this game. I think you try to get him healthy for college football playoffs. And can you have a letdown game after that big game against Ohio State? Can you have a letdown game?
And Purdue has nothing to lose.
Yeah, Purdue has nothing to lose because they're done. They're done no matter what happens.
This is their championship game.
Because even if they beat Michigan, they're not going to the college football playoff.
Now they could get them into a pretty good sized bowl, I would think, but a good payday. But yeah, they're not.
I just started betting last week since they made it official online for Maryland. What app are you using, Anthony? Yeah, that's the only thing that worries me about the Michigan game and giving up that many points is they got that such a big win last week. Sometimes you see a letdown, especially when you're playing a team that by any means you should beat. You know, what I mean, it should be a win. So sometimes they can be kind of overlook Purdue, looking ahead toward the playoffs.
What do you think about USC and Utah? I mean, USC lost to them by 1 point last time, and if you say USC loses, they're out. And probably, in my opinion, if USC loses, Ohio State's in.
Probably. Unless they try to somehow. I don't know how you couldn't get Alabama in over USC.
You can't get a 2-loss Alabama team and no better wins because Ohio State's got wins over Notre Dame and Penn State, which I think are better wins than Alabama. So and only one loss. So I don't think that's a possibility.
No, I don't either. I think it'd be Ohio State. If USC loses, Ohio State, I would think would get in, even though they had that bad loss against Michigan. I use DraftKings sometimes.
Well, you go to that also. If let's say for example, if let's say TCU loses and USA loses, so now you get Ohio State in, and
I think USC gets in over TCU.
Possibly, but then what about a team? Because that's their second loss.
Oh, wait, USC already has one loss.
Yeah, so it'd be one loss for them. But what about it? But you mentioned Alabama. How can you go Alabama over Tennessee? Because Tennessee beat Alabama.
Yeah. Tennessee only has the two
losses right now.
Even though the one loss was terrible, but yeah.
So I don't think there's any way Alabama gets in.
I don't think so either.
It had to be really crazy.
I've used the Caesars sports book a little bit, Anthony, but I haven't used MGM. I usually use FanDuel the most, but I do use DraftKings as well. A lot of it depends on like what you're betting on. Like if you're going to bet on UFC, DraftKings is better than FanDuel. You get better odds on DraftKings. I think that's because they're a partner with UFC. but it seems like you always get better odds on the UFC on DraftKings. But yeah, I like comparing them because sometimes you can get better odds on FanDuel than you can DraftKings and vice versa. But I do know, like when me and Pride do our UFC shows, uh, if you look at the odds, you get a lot better odds on DraftKings than what you do on FanDuel. I use Caesar some because uh, casino here in town is a Caesar sports book. Well, not here in town, but about 30 minutes from us. Anthony said, "Did you see the poll where Ohio State is number 2?" No, I haven't seen that poll. In football or yeah. I don't know how they could be number 2.
Ain't no way.
I know the final college football
Comes out
playoff.
tonight.
Huh?
No. But then ain't the one that comes out tonight.
They usually do one on Tuesday nights.
But
I'm assuming they'll still do one tonight, but then Sundays when
the coaches came out and had Ohio State 5.
Yeah.
Had Michigan 2, of course, Georgia 1, TCU 3, USC 4.
Michigan, Ohio State 5.
I don't remember who was 6 right offhand.
Hey, how's it going, Billy? Thanks for joining us. Yeah, I think the only way Ohio State gets in is if USC loses. They need some teams to lose.
I would say USC or TCU. If one loses, I think they get in.
Yeah. Oh yeah, if TCU loses, they're going to be out.
Let me ask you this question:
make a lot of people mad. But
if LSU beats Georgia, is there any way they push LSU in there? I don't see how because they got 3 losses.
I don't see how because of the 3 losses. But you know how biased they are toward that conference. But if I don't know how you can get in with 3 losses over Ohio State team that has 1 loss, or if USC only ends up with 1 loss.
Yeah, I don't see how you can knock USC or TCU out. TCU undefeated, Michigan undefeated. I don't see how only a 1-loss USC team who have pretty good victories, and I don't see how a 3-loss team would get in over them.
He said it was the AP poll. Huh. No, I haven't seen that. I haven't seen that poll yet. I don't know how you could have Ohio State at number 2 after the way they looked last week. I thought Michigan would beat them. I'm not going to lie. I was worried about Michigan with because of Quorum's injury, and the way that game played out. If you watch the first half of that game, I thought Ohio State was. I'm not going to lie. I thought Ohio State was going to win the game. Didn't you? After the first half, it felt like after that first half of that game, it kind of felt like Michigan was lucky to be in the game because they hit those couple real big plays. And then the second half, Michigan got that run game going with Edwards, and it was see you later, good night. He said, Billy said, he don't care who wins as long as it's not Alabama.
He may be looking at the old one because I'm looking at the college football rankings, Associated Press. Right now, Georgia 1, Michigan 2, TCU 3, Southern Carolina, Southern USC 4, Ohio State 5, Alabama 6th, over Tennessee 7th, and Tennessee beat Alabama. I don't understand that. Penn State 8, Washington 9, Clemson 10. That's the top 10 from the latest AP Associated Press poll.
I don't understand how Alabama's. You say 6?
Yes.
They're trying to keep them close, aren't they?
And they have the same record. Alabama and Tennessee are both 10-2. I don't know. Of course, Alabama was rated over Tennessee last week, 8th and 9th. Ohio State was 2nd last week. He's looking at the old one because the new one they're 5th. Now, one interesting thing: Georgia got 58 first place votes. Michigan got 5.
I agree with Georgia at number 1. I thought they should have been number 1 at the beginning of the season, and they wasn't. But I think they've looked like the best team in college football all year, in my opinion. It's going to be interesting to see if that Michigan defense they'll be able to slow that offense down, and then what the Michigan offense can do against the Georgia defense. I'm hoping to get to see that game. Of course, they both would have to win the games before that if everything stays how it is. But the only way Michigan can move down is if they lose to Purdue.
But I still think they would stay in the top 4. because there would only be one
Yeah,
loss.
I think
I would
think
think.
so.
You know, with the win over Ohio State, I think they beat Michigan State,
They beat
Penn
Penn
State
State.
during the year. Penn State's is 8th.
I just hope they don't. I just hope Michigan doesn't have a letdown game. And I'm not a big Michigan fan, like I've said before. I'm a Big Ten guy. My favorite team is IU, the Hoosiers. We're not very good in football, so
I'm trying to remember who Alabama's
the
wins
least
were against. I know one of them was South Carolina, and they're 20th, and they're 8-4, and they were not ranked last week.
yeah, and South Carolina beat Tennessee.
Well, maybe that would be part of their. Maybe that's one reason they're rated high. But to me, head to head should count first. Tennessee beat them.
Anthony, I need 4 games for college basketball for a parlay spread. I'm about ready to recap. Actually, we'll go ahead and get to that. Give out my picks of the day. My picks of the day, and let's see. We'll start NBA. In the NBA, I like the Pistons at the +4.5 against the New York Knicks. I like the Warriors money line over Dallas, and I like the over the 228 in that game.
Let me go ahead and get my NBA. And then you can
I forgot one more.
Oh, okay.
And then I like Portland on the or Portland -3.5 over the Los Angeles Clippers in the NBA.
My NBA, I got Golden State win money line at Dallas. I got Clippers win money line at the Portland Trailblazers, and I got the Knicks win money line at the Detroit Pistons.
And then you got a college basketball parlay?
Yes, I got a college basketball parlay. I got Baylor win money line at Marquette. Excuse me. I got Houston -25 at Norfolk State, or at Houston, but playing Norfolk State. And I got Weber State +8 at Tarleton State.
And yet, yes, Billy. Bobby Knight wasn't a man in college basketball at IU. That's one of the reasons I was a big IU fan when I was younger. I loved Calbert Chaney, Damon Bailey.
They got a good. Well, Woodson played for them.
Yeah, the coach we got now, Woodson, played for him.
And I think that's why they're moving in the right direction.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll get to see tomorrow what they look like against well, North Carolina is ranked, but they fell back some.
Yeah.
Actually, IU's ranked higher than North Carolina now.
Are they?
But I'm looking forward to that game. In college basketball, for me, I like Houston at the -25.5 over Norfolk State. I like Baylor -6.5 over Marquette. I like Wisconsin -5.5 over Wake Forest. Clemson -2.5 over Penn State. And I like Missouri -2.5 over Wichita State. That's my picks. That's all the picks for today because it's just basically college basketball and NBA. And I know Dad has a hockey parlay.
Yeah, my hockey parlay hit yesterday, but today I have the Lightning at the Bruins. I'm gonna take the Bruins win money line. Then I have the Islanders at the Flyers. I'm gonna take the Islanders win money line, and then I've got the Kraken at the Kings. I'm gonna take Kraken win money line.
Okay, I'll say the college picks again, Anthony. I like Houston -25.5 over Norfolk State. Baylor -6.5 over Marquette. Clemson -2.5 over Penn State. Wisconsin -5.5 over Wake Forest. And Missouri -2.5 over Wichita State. I need to start trying to make a graphic to put out on the social media pages like I used to, but it just with everything going on, it's hard to get graphics out every day sometimes when we got 4 or 5 shows in a day. I think that's about it. Isn't it?
Yeah, that's it.
I'll recap one more time. NBA Warriors money line, and I like the over the 228. Pistons +4.5. Portland Trailblazers -3.5 over the Clippers. College basketball, Houston, who's ranked number 1. I like them at -25.5 over Norfolk State. Baylor -6.5 over Marquette. Clemson -2.5 over Penn State. Wisconsin -5.5 over Wake Forest, and Missouri -2.5 over Wichita State. want to thank everybody for joining us. We'll be back tomorrow right around 3:30. We'll see. We have a tomorrow night. We're going to have an interview with pro wrestler Blake Money Wright. Talk about a big show this Friday night in Cincinnati, Ohio, which we'll be at streaming live. Then Thursday morning we got another big interview. I'm excited for is the marvelous Mr. Bell, Jordan Bell, will be joining us. He's a pro wrestler manager, podcaster.
He does all kinds of stuff.
Does a whole lot of different things. Great dude. It'll be a fun conversation. I guarantee you that. And then this weekend we have 2 pro wrestling shows. We're going to be at one on Friday night in Cincinnati that I just mentioned. I'm pretty sure it starts at 8 p.m. Eastern time. And then on Sunday we're going to be in Greenfield, Indiana for Summit Pro Wrestling, and that starts at 3 p.m. Eastern. So if you usually go to Summit Pro, remember it starts an hour earlier this month than normal. It starts at 3 instead of 4.
It's a big special show. The retirement of TJ Kemp, over 20 years, I think, in the wrestling business, and he's going to retire and had a great career. So it should be pretty emotional. Should be pretty cool.
And also has a big last man standing match with Calvin Tankman.
People. He's been all over wrestling. MLW champion from Indianapolis. I believe he went to Warren Central. So a big dude, and going against Hillbilly Jed. He's a Midwest legend. So that should be pretty awesome. I think it's the last man standing.
Yeah, last man standing match. So it should be a great show. So that'll be at 3 p.m. on Sunday. So join us for that. Then we'll be live Sunday night doing live watching long reaction to the Sunday night football with Colts and Cowboys. That should be another fun time. I think Jay McLovin's going to join us for that one. He's a big Cowboys fan, so
that's going to be crazy.
So that's going to be interesting, especially if the Colts can get a lead.
Yeah, Jay better hope that Dallas don't get upset because I'm going to be all over his ass.
That'll be a fun show, especially like I said, especially if the Colts get the lead. Real quick update with less than with about a minute and 20 seconds left. The United States is still up 1-0 over Iran.
And they'll move on if they win this game.
Woo!
Just about scored.
Wow. What a save there. And that wasn't even by the goalie. We need to get the ball on the other side of the field, fellas. There you go. But didn't I read that right? Because usually they play 90 minutes. It says +9, so they'll go to 99.
Should be about right.
So it looks like there's about 45 seconds left. And United States is up by 1. They dodged a big bullet there.
Yep, sure did.
The goalie went out to get it, and they got behind him. Luckily, a United States player.
Right between his goalie's legs.
Yeah, that would have sucked for to get a goal like that.
Yep.
Now there's a bunch of arguing going on here. I don't know what's going on, and the time's still running.
Yeah, because the clock don't stop.
Yeah. What are they arguing about?
I'm not sure.
I don't understand what they're arguing about here. We'll see what's going on real quick. All right, they got the ball back in play. We're over 99 minutes now.
Yeah, it can't be a whole lot of time left, but
they give them a little bit longer because they were arguing there.
It could have been. I'm not sure.
Come on, get a goal here. Nope.
They're kicking back on the other side, so.
That's one thing I hate about soccer. You don't know when it's fucking over.
Yeah, it's kind of different.
According to the +9, I would think it would be over. But let me ask you this: you might know. Do they play extra time in the first half as well?
Yes.
So that might be
final. It's over. So it's just a little bit over.
Yeah, they gave him like 55 more seconds. I think it might have been because of that delay in that. IU defeats Iran, moves on to the knockout round in the World Cup. So that's
USA is moving on.
Anthony, I like Maryland over Louisville. That it wasn't one that I picked, but Louisville has been struggling this year.
Yes, and they haven't been covered.
Yeah, and they haven't been covering. So I do like Maryland in that game. It wasn't one of the ones I picked, but it was one of them when I was going through the games a minute ago. I told that me and Dad both said that Louisville's been struggling.
I know
So that'd have been. I think that's a good one as well.
I know it's a lot of points, but Houston's been covering and they've been playing really well. I know 25 and a half is a lot of points. And you have to worry about does Houston take players out and things like that. And it's at Houston, it's at home against Norfolk State, but I went with Houston, even though minus 25 and a half.
That's a big win for the United States men's national team to get out of pool play. One win and 2 draws, but
hey, they made it through. Hey, you got a special show tonight too, Chris.
Oh yeah. Tonight we will be doing a special show. We'll be doing Gonzo and the Judge sports talk tonight, since we didn't do one last night because I was doing a watch along for the Colts game. So we'll be live tonight at 11 p.m. Eastern, same time as normal. Just going to be on a Tuesday night instead of Monday night this week, and we won't be live Friday night. So we'll probably. I'll have to talk to the judge. We might just do Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday this week if he wants to. I'll see what he has going on. But because Friday I'll be in Cincinnati at a wrestling show, or at 11, probably be packing up, getting ready to head home. Hopefully,
Yep.
That's gonna be a late one.
Yes, it is.
But thank everybody for joining us. We'll see you guys tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern with another episode of Easy Money, a sports betting show. Hope everybody has a great night. See you tomorrow.